We are here with David Desario, who is the producer of A Day's Work. Welcome and congratulations.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to screen here at the Mass Independent Film Festival.
So tell us a little bit about the film and the story that inspired it and how you got involved.
Well, I was a temp worker for many years, and this was a story that's sort of emerging as a temp workers movement is really going. And more than anywhere, you have temp workers starting to organize and starting to recognize their conditions here in Boston. So this was a great place for us to screen. But the film focuses on one individual, a young man named Lawrence Day Davis, who was 21, and like a lot of us, was having a little bit of trouble finding his first job. And he got his first job through a temp agency. And on the first day he ever went to work, he was crushed to death 90 minutes into his first shift. So we look at the loss that his family experienced, and we start drawing some connections and realize that what happened today has actually happened to many other workers, other temp workers who've been killed on the first day. And of the millions of temp workers that are on the job on any given day in the U.S., the risks that they all face because of their status as temp workers. So we thought it was a story that was important to share.
So are you Boston-based then, you yourself?
Brooklyn-based, but honestly, there's no better place to screen than in Boston when it comes to temp worker issues.
And so curious, how did you come across Day's story specifically? Did you see it on the news and therefore were you already, was it already percolating at that time, or?
Well, a lot of times when a worker gets killed, it doesn't make a headline. It barely makes a line in the newspaper. This one happened to get picked up by a guy who's in our film, Michael Graybell, who came across this case and then started doing the research that we highlighted, where he was able to, one of the first people to show that temp workers are about 50% more likely to be injured on the job, and when they're injured, more seriously. So Michael had made the connection with the family and helped us greatly setting up this film. So if you want to know a little bit more about his work, check out propublica.org. And the series that he does is called Templand.
You mentioned that you've had some experience with temp work. Can you elaborate a little bit about your personal connection to the story?
Well, my first temp job was a lot like a lot of temp jobs. It was in a warehouse, and as they often are, it's unventilated. It's hot in the summer. There's no fans. You can't stop moving, and if you do, you're getting yelled at. And I work jobs like that. I work jobs in offices and where I wear a shirt and tie. And no matter what the job responsibility was, there's a certain commonality to the experience of being a temp. And if you work for an agency, you're seeing less of the value of your work returned to you because you're not working direct for an employer, and you have less of a say in the workplace. So while health and safety concerns don't really affect everyone who's a temp, there are a lot of abuses within the industry that do affect all temp workers, whether they're in an office or they're in a warehouse like Day was.
How long ago did you personally get involved in that whole industry and start to make some of these connections for yourself?
About 7 years ago, I got a website, temporaryemployees.org, and today that's now an organization called the Alliance for the American Temporary Workforce. And we're a group of temps and academics and some reporters who are trying to change the narrative of what temp work is, because a lot of people, like Day did, thought a temp agency was his best chance to get a job and his way to get a foot in the door, and sometimes it is. But a lot of the information about the negative effects of the temp industry for workers and for the economy as a whole are missing from that narrative, so we're trying to share that.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Do you have other plans to bring this message, throughout the country and elsewhere?
We've been lucky enough to get into a few film festivals, and we've been screening for a lot of people who are working on the ground on health and safety issues and in organizing labor. So it's yet to be seen whether we can reach the masses and the 3 million people working every day as temps. But right now we are having a lot of success getting to advocates and helping to share this story with them.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming here to talk with us. Congratulations again, and best of luck to you, and we'll definitely be keeping an eye out.
Thank you very much.